Recently, I had got an email telling me about a court template that was newly made and available because the 3-point line on the template that we've been using on PC can sometimes be off. Now, there's actually a few court templates floating around for those who want to make court mods on PC. This particular one, I believe, is Lagoa's template that has the 3-point line that's kind of off, and it's just certain areas are kind of off. So sometimes you might be right there at the top of the 3-point line according to the court, but then it will count as a 2. So that could be a little bit annoying, especially if it's only a little bit off, a tad bit off. But anyway, this guy who sent me the email, he actually created a new template to make sure all the lines were in the correct place. And that's what we're going to be going over today. So you guys stick with me and we're going to take a look at his template. All right, let's do it. So we are on JusBGood.com and we're taking a look at this updated court template V3 by Lethanos. Thank you. This is the person that sent me the email. So when we click here on this link, you're going to see that the size of the file is going to be pretty big. It is 1.04 gigabytes, but it's pretty big, greater than 1 gigabyte. And you're going to need Photoshop. Preferably you're gonna need Photoshop CS6 or higher. I know everybody doesn't have Photoshop. I'm not sure if you might be able to use this with GIMP or other programs that recognize the Photoshop file format. You may be able to do that. I'm not 100% sure, but you're also going to need to have the DDS plugins installed. So like for me, I'm going to be using Photoshop CS6 and I'm going to have the NVIDIA DDS plugin and the Intel DDS plugin. And then once we get over to actually messing around with the court, then we'll see which format we need to save it in and we'll go from there. Now, if any of this is a little confusing, you can head over to the NLSC and you might take a look at their tutorial section for past games like 2K19 and 2K20, and you might be able to find a little bit more info about court creation. All right. So now I'm going to jump over to me actually having the file. All right, so now we are looking at the actual template, and there's so many options on here. You can have different types of shadows. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. There's some options for floor, the bump map of the floor. Some of you won't know what that means, but that's okay. The NBA logo up there, right there, you can get rid of that if you want, which I have that disabled by default. You can change some of the center logo lines, and there's just a lot of stuff you can enable and disable to your liking. Let's see. Just trying to click on stuff so you guys can see how it works really quickly. So like if you want to have high school, you don't need that charge area line. So you can get rid of that. You can get rid of sideline marks. You don't have sideline marks in lower level competition. 3-point line, you can get rid of that if you don't want a 3-point line. Now this is only the NBA 3-point line. I don't see that he has like college 3-point lines or anything like that, but that's okay. Let's see, media lines, you can get rid of those. And it says free throw. All right, then he has different options for the wood texture. And you guys can really play with those however you want. You can even just add your own stuff. And in addition to all of this stuff that I've shown you, another thing that you can do is you can add your own logos over the top of these which I don't really have a logo right now. Let's see. Maybe I can find my 2K DNA logo real quickly on my computer. I don't want this to go too long. Here we go. Logos. Get this 2K DNA. I don't know where I placed it. There it is. So I would actually want that at the top. I'll just see if I can get it to the top. There you go. And then I could resize it however I want to. And right now, the view, even though this is like filling up my entire screen, this is only on 16%. We're only viewing this at 16% of its true size. This whole template. So like I'll zoom in for you guys to show you how close it gets. So now we are at 100% now. Oops. So now we're at 100%. If I take that 2K logo away, we can scroll around. Look how close we are. It looks really good. That floor looks really good. So I really need a super high quality logo here. This one isn't that high quality, but that's okay. I'm going to zoom back out. All right. And again, you can just continue adding whatever you want to the floor. You can make the floor like the outer floor area. We can make it whatever color we want. Or if we want designs, let's see, do I have any kind of picture on my desktop? Not really, but maybe if I go, I know I was just somewhere where I had designs. Hold on one second, guys. And various textures. So like if I want, oh man, that's too little. But if I wanted something, you know, some kind of design back there, I could do that. You see that? You can have a design if you want. All right. So anyway, we've done enough messing around with this. And we can continue to mess around if we want, but if we want to save it, I'm going to click OK, OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten the image. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm just going to flatten the image because right now it's just too many layers. So I flattened the image. Now it's just one background image. And we actually need to take a look at the dimensions. So I'm going to do Alt-Control-I. All right, so this is how large it is for me. I'm going to leave it at that. So that's basically 8K resolution. I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'm going to save. I believe you can save it as whatever you want as far as DXT goes. Save it to my desktop. So I was telling you guys earlier about the different DDS plugins. So we have this one. This is NVIDIA's DDS plugin. And then we have, where's Intel's DDS plugin. But I'm going to use this one, NVIDIA's, because it's just more versatile. And then I need to name this a certain thing. But I'll rename it in a second. Right now, I'm just gonna name it as court.dds. Click save, and then you want to figure out which one of these you want to save it as. I believe by default it's set to DXT3 as far as this template goes. So I'm just gonna do that for right now. I'll do that. And I'll save it, and I'll allow it a little time to save the texture. And then once it's saved to my desktop, I'll come back and show you guys how to put this texture inside of a file and get it in the game. All right. So I am now on my desktop, and it's a little messy, so forgive me. Focus in here on the middle of my desktop, and I have a file called court.dds, which is what I just saved, and then a file called f fxxx.if. And so that's the actual floor file from the game. What I'm going to do, because this is a modded floor file from Lethanos provided this. I believe it's originally from Lagoa's template. So credits to both of these guys. I'm giving credit. What I'm going to do is use a program called 7-Zip. I've mentioned this in many of my videos over the years. I'm going to use 7-Zip to go on my desktop and find that fxxx.if file. I'm going to double click it, and then it goes inside of the file. So right now I am inside of this file. And then right here where it says Big 76ers, blah, blah, blah. If we double click that, you're going to see there's already a floor file there. Let's see if it loads up. There it is. So there's already a Golden State floor file there. And the reason, let's see, I can't resize this thing because it's so big. It won't let me resize it because this is the true size. I mean, well, it's actually bigger than my screen will allow. Because I want to show you guys that it shows me which DXT it is. Let me see. Can I do view, or can I change the view? Maybe not. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys. No, I'm not going to be able to show you guys what I want. But anyway, it shows me at the very bottom of this texture that it is DXT3 already. This one is. And it shows me the dimension of this. But I'm going to replace this texture with the one we just made. And I'll show you the one that we just made, which is called Court DDS. Here it is. This is the one we just made. We're going to put that in game. All right, so all I have to do basically is just rename the Court DDS to be this. So right here, if I press F2, it selects the entire name of the file. Then I press Control C to copy. Come back to the one that says Court DDS. I'm going to press F2, and then I'm just going to delete everything out of here. Now, some of you guys don't have file extensions on, so you won't even see the .dds on yours. So just do this, paste everything in, and you see for me it has .dds twice. For you it might only have it once, but just erase the .dds that you pasted in, okay? So for some of you, it's not going to show .dds. It's only going to show this. But if normally your files show the extensions, then go ahead and leave the second DDS there. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying and it's not too confusing. All right. So I'm going to press enter. But basically when you get this, now you've renamed it, you can drag it inside of here. It's going to ask you, do you want to copy this over? I'm going to say yes. I do want to copy it over, and it's going to replace that Golden State file that was in there. So now when we double click it, it's no longer Golden State. It is the one that we saved. All right. So as you can see, when I put it in there, it only has .dds once, and that's the way it should look. Hopefully you guys really understand what I'm saying. So it should have the name of the file followed by a period in DDS, but it shouldn't say DDS 2 times, only once. Okay. So now what I can do is I can rename, I can actually exit this. And where'd the file go? Here it is, that fxxx.if file. I can rename it, but first I'm going to copy it and paste, because this is the template, not the template, but I'm going to have to use this again if I make another floor. So I've copied it. Now this one I'm going to name F000, because that's the floor for the 76ers and they're the very first team. So their team ID is 000. So F for floor and then the 000 for 76ers. Press enter, and then I'm going to put this in my modded folder, or if you're on 2K20 or 2K20, you can put it in your JusBGood folder. So I'm just going to cut this and get over to my modded folder for 2K21. my mods. I have so many mods here. Maybe I should probably. Yeah, I'll show you guys here. It's supposed to just say mods, so I'm gonna make it say mods. So you guys won't have some of this other stuff. You guys won't have these two folders. And you might not have this folder either. But anyway, I'm going to click where it says mods and go in there. And as you guys can see, I have some files already in there. And I'm going to paste this brand new floor file that I have. And then I'm going to start up the game. And we're going to go to the 76ers. And it should now be our new floor. All right, so I'm going to get the game started. And then we'll check that out. All right, so now it's time for the moment of truth. Time to see if the court shows up in game. Let's see. Come on. Show up. Show up. Don't crash. Don't go crazy. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. There we have it. It shows up in game. Thank goodness. All right, everything is moving slow because I'm using my keyboard to move around. My controller is not in this room right now. It's actually somewhere else. So anyway, hey, who is that guy over there? Is that a creative? Man, why do these graphics look a little better? Anyway, I'm done. We made the floor. The floor works correctly. Everything looks good for me. This is good enough. Now we can make whatever kind of floors we want. Thank you, Lethanos, for this template. And what we can do is let's go into Can we go? Yeah, we don't gotta go into instant replay. Let's just go to camera, see if we can get some. Yeah, there we go. Get some different views of the court. You guys see it worked. And so that's all I needed. That was all that I needed. So there you go, PC guys. Here's another tutorial from me. I've done so many over the years. I know I've kind of been slacking on them lately, but I've just been doing everything involved in so many things. But you guys, make sure you check the bottom ticker. If you don't have Cashapp, add Cashapp with my code down there, and you get yourself a free $5. So as you're signing up, there'll be a little spot to enter a code for, I guess, whoever sent you to the app to add it. Make sure you enter that code at that point for you to get a free $5. And I'm going to do a contest here soon. Let's start doing some money giveaways. It's not even a giveaway because you guys are going to have to participate to do it. But we'll start doing that. All right, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for checking me out. I'm the Goods on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. You can follow my TikTok. I'm actually not in control of the TikTok, but I do give input, and then the person that controls it, I give them input and then they put the stuff up. So this one is done.